Hello, and thanks for tuning in for Chapter 2, Section 8 with the sample problems. These problems are going to be 4 problems that I've selected from textbook page 161, which should be your homework. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the problem we're working on in textbook page 161 is number 17, and it's 240 is 60% of what number? So let's go ahead and start with step 1, which, as I said, was always going to be to draw the percent line. So let's go ahead and start with that first. As you can see here, I've started with 0% and 100%. Then I need to decide, pardon my dog in the background playing with this squeaky toy. Then I need to decide what increments I'm going to slice this into. So because I'm looking for 60%, I know I'm going to slice it into 20% chunks because I need to be able to get to exactly 60 with my number line. So let's do that now. So now we've set up the number line and I've broken it into 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and draw our actual number line. That's not the percent, but it's the actual number. So I'm going to do that now. So now before I can decide what goes on the beginning, what goes in the end, or whether or not this was a part or whole, I need to really think about what it's being said here. So it says 240 is 60% of what number? So let's go ahead first and make our tick marks match up. So you'll notice that I'm trying to make them match up with the red ones here. And notice my line is also the same size. Because now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and change colors here, but I'm going to make a bracket so that we can bracket off what 60% is. So 60% is going to be this little highlighted chunk here, 20, 40, and 60. So that's actually 0, 20, 40, 60, yes. Okay, and so down here we're going to bracket off everything that we just highlighted up here. So again, right here highlighted, so we need that right here. So what we know is that 240 is 60% of the problem. So 240 is covered by these 3 brackets. So then you want to ask yourself, well, if I have 3 chunks and I need to divide out that 240, then I can go, okay, 240 divided by 3 gives me 80 per chunk. So that means this one's 80, this one's 80, and this one's 80. So then what you need to find, is going to be what these 2 are. And if these 3 are 80, then what that means is that this is 80 as well. So 80 and 80. So now what you're going to do to find out what the whole number was, you're going to go ahead and add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 80s. So 80 times 5. And you get, okay, 5 times 0, and then 400. Okay. So now we know that 240, so this is going to be my whole number, 240 is 60% of 400. All right, so now we're looking at number 19. Number 19 says 270 is 90% of what number? And since they haven't given us the double number line, we can always use the double number line if you prefer that strategy, but it's not requiring you to use it for this specific problem. So now what you can do is say 270 is equal to 90%. And then they want to know what the whole number is. So we're going to go ahead and line that up as our part to whole problem. So let's start off with, we know that 270 is the part, and we don't know the whole. So we're going to put a box there because we don't know the whole. We're going to solve for that. It's going to be equal to, and remember this 270, they said, is going to be 90%. So it's going to be 90 per 100. So percent, just like we've done each time. So now you need to establish the relationship between 90 and 270. The reason we're going from 90 to 270 is because we're going to have to go from 100 to our answer. So to get from 90 to 270, you need to multiply by 3. So then to get from 100 to the whole number, you need to multiply by 3. So 100 times 3 is going to give you 300. So then your final piece of information, you're going to say that 270 is 90% of 300. All right, so now we're going to look at problem number 23. So this is problem number 23, and it says, according to the school survey, 12% of the students at Rockwood Junior High speak Spanish. There are 36 students at the school who speak Spanish. How many students were surveyed? So you want to ask yourself, are we looking for the part or the whole? So when it says how many students were surveyed, we're actually looking for the number of students to start with. So let's go ahead and think about that. we know our 12% is going to be 12 per 100 because that is our percent. So now we just need to work on what's over here. So we know that 36 is the part because we just said that they're asking us to look for the whole. So 36 is the part. And then we have our empty box here, which is the whole. That's what we're solving for. And our next step is going to be to establish the relationship between 12 and 36. And remember, we're going from 12 to 36 because we have to then go from 100 to our whole number. So to get from 12 to 36, we're going to multiply by 3. So then to get to our whole number, we're also going to multiply by 3. So 100 times 3 gives you 300. And as you will notice, there were 300 students surveyed. All right, so now we're looking at number 22. So this is the problem. Oops. There we go. This is the problem that we're working on. And it says a tiger can eat food that weighs up to 15% of its body weight. If a tiger can eat 75 pounds of food, how much does a tiger weigh? So again, we have to ask ourselves, are we looking for the part or the whole? And in this problem, we're looking for the whole because it's saying that, first let's start with the percent because that's the easy part. So 15% will be set up as 15 per 100. And I would like to see the percent off to the side as well so that you are reminded of what you need to write. And then they gave us, if the tiger can eat 75 pounds of food, so that's the part, then they want to know how much the tiger weighs. So what he weighs is going to be the whole. So now that we have the problem set up, all we need to do is establish the relationship between 15 and 75. And as you remember, hopefully, we had to establish this relationship going from 15 to 75 and not 75 to 15 because on the bottom we're going to have to go from 100 to our answer. So that's why we need to go in that direction. So to get from 15 to 75, we have 15, 30, 60 makes 4, and then 5 is 75. So we're going to multiply by 5 to get to 75. So then we're going to multiply by 5 down here. 5 times 100 is going to give us 500. And so we know that the tiger weighs 500 pounds. All right, so I hope this video helped you out. This is going to be lesson 2.8, solving percent problems, and we are nearing test time, so you want to make sure to start reviewing these videos as well as reviewing all of your practice sheets that you've been given back, as well as your examples and notes, because the test is coming shortly. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you in our next class session.